Greetings, my friends. This is Stan Hustad at the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and this is a performance of a very famous letter written by a man named Saul, better known as Paul, St. Paul, an entrepreneurial memo to some Christian entrepreneurs, some advice on how they should live. Eugene Peterson and Stan Hustad made a few additions to the memo. It is obvious what kind of life develops of trying to get your own way all the time. Repetitive, loveless, cheap sex. A stinking accumulation of mental and emotional garbage. Frenzied and joyless grabs for happiness. Trinket gods, magic show religion, paranoid loneliness, cutthroat competition, all-consuming yet never satisfied wants, a brutal temper, and impotent inability to love or be loved, divided homes and even divided lives, small-minded and lopsided pursuits, the vicious habit of depersonalizing everyone into a rival, uncontrolled and uncontrollable addictions, and ugly parodies and imitations of community. And I could go on and on. Now, this isn't the first time I've warned you about this. You know that if you use your freedom this way, you will not inherit God's good stuff in His good place. But what happens when we do it God's way? He brings gifts into our lives in much the same way that fruit appears in an orchard. Good fruit and good things. Things like affection for others, exuberance about life, a deep serenity about things, people, and events. We even develop a willingness to stick with things, to keep pressing on. A sense of compassion, even deep kindness in our heart. And the conviction that a basic holiness and goodness can penetrate and permeate all things and even all people. We find ourselves involved in loyal commitments, and yet we don't need to force our way in life. We are able to marshal and direct our talents and our energies wisely. Now, since this is the kind of entrepreneurial life we have chosen, the life of the Spirit force, let us make sure that we do not just hold it as an idea in our heads or a sentiment in our hearts, but work out its implications in everyday detail of our lives and businesses. And that means we will not compare ourselves with each other as if one of us were better or another worse. We have more important and more interesting things to do with our lives than that, because each of us is an original. Each of us is unique. Just some words of wit, wisdom, and insight and truth for your thought and consideration. Again, thanks to St. Paul, adapted by Eugene Peterson, and just a touch from yours truly, Stan Hustad. All the best and blessings to you as you seek to bring this Spirit force living into your life and business.